I'm muffin, and I'm half-ass ready. So, video about the troubles of September 2024. I'm going to run a little series of videos, like at least 4 parts. First, I want to start off by apologizing to my subscribers. It's been a minute since I put out a video, and I just felt like there were people doing it better than me. But I got a lot of feedback. I don't know why y'all like listening to my country ass, but here I am. I'm back. I'm going to try to do it more often. I promise. But anyway, we survived the troubles. My son got a tree through his house. He's fine. Family's fine. But God blessed my wife and I here on my little piece of God's country. I got one little tree down here, one little tree, and as you can see behind me, these are the smallest trees near my house. So a lot of water. Yeah, look, y'all seen the videos, man. Our little neck of the woods got messed up real bad here in WNC. But we survived the troubles, right? And almost 15 days without power. Still don't have cable or internet, and so it's taken me a minute to get these videos loaded and up. But that's my problem, not yours. But so I'm just glad I'm a prepper. 14 days here without power. The things that my wife and I have been doing for 5-6 years now really paid off. Again, I'm blessed, man. I mean, I was taking hot showers and some of my neighbors had no luxuries, man, none whatsoever. So, if you're already a prepper, keep doing what you're doing. Never dreamed that I would use as much as I use. So, what went right? Most of my stuff worked fine. I tested out some stuff that I didn't really have to test. I tested out my water filtration devices. The scary part was getting gasoline for the first 6 or 7 days, and communications were down. I mean, our cell phones weren't working. And if you had a landline, even landlines now are hooked to the cellular network too, or satellite or something, internet, something. And let me tell you, that stuff was non-existent here in Western North Carolina. And honestly, it's still not good. It's a lot better than it was, but it's still not good. And what are we, 22 days now away? So, a lot of my stuff went right. I had some issues with my big generator, my big Jenny, but I managed to get that fixed. And day one, I went to go out to go check on my son, and my chainsaw wouldn't work. So, I spent the next day in the shop with a lantern because I didn't have a light in the shop, and fixed my chainsaw. So it's working again. Thank you, Lord. But look, I mean, I survived the troubles, and I'm going to talk more about some of the things I've done and will do and are going to do. But today I just wanted to tell you guys, especially if you're tuning in to me for the first time, the prepper basics, man. I mean, the FEMA 3-day thing, that's the basic, right? And it's not enough. It wasn't even close to enough to what happened here, right? It wasn't even close to enough. So, but the prepper basics, man. I mean, water. And look, there's Asheville and a lot of the municipal water systems around here, there's still 20 to 30% of their customers not receiving water. And the ones that are receiving water still can't drink it. So, water. Water is important. Look, if you don't have a way to run your well, then you need to find a way to flush your toilets, right? And it was a big issue around here, man. There were roads that are completely washed out and bridges that were gone. Again, it's getting better. The infrastructure's getting better. But people are still struggling to find enough water to flush their toilets. So water, you need to think about water. Watch some of my videos about water. I'm going to talk about it some more, but I have a neighbor, one tough lady, man. I'm going to tell you, she's recovering from breast cancer. But, you know, I looked over there and she was in her backyard in a fire pit trying to heat food. So, look, water's one thing, but you need some kind of a heat source to heat your water, right? And I don't think a lot of people thought about that around here. You know, the preppers did. You know, we're on top of it, right? We do this. We know this. But I don't think everyday people thought, you know, 3 days. So even if you want to make a freeze-dried meal that you have, you need water and you have to heat it. So heat source, 3 days is not enough, right? I said that in my earlier videos. I'm going to say that every chance I get. 3 days is not enough. FEMA's full of poop. But my new thing, man, now 14 days is minimal, right? 14 days of fuel for the Jenny, food for my belly, food for my dog's belly, my meds. 14 days is now the minimum, okay? So never dreamed I'd be 14 days without what I needed to survive. So, but I was ready. I was more than 3 days ready. I was more than 14 days ready. So I'm proud of what we accomplished here. I was able to help my neighbors, and again, man, I could tell stories, but I want to keep this video short. I want to keep all the next couple in this series short because, man, this is a hell of a place to be from, y'all. Something real special about these mountain people. Not just the folks born and raised here, the people that live here. They've moved in and adopted our values, and I love my community. I'm so proud of, especially my little community here in where I'm at, in my little piece of God's country. They were really looking out for each other. And, I mean, I got a lot of older people. I have a lot of people with children around, and I'm so proud of them, man. I'm just so proud to be from where I'm from. The most terrifying thing I've ever done in my life, you know, when you look out your back window and there's so much water coming off the mountain behind you, I just knew God was going to call me home, and there's nothing I could do to stop that, right? I suggest you be prepared to meet God too. That's another message that I'll get into one day. But, you know, men like me and my son and my father-in-law, the men in my life, we're can-do kind of guys. We go after a problem with a plan to solve it, right? And there were things that were happening during that storm that there was no plan, right? So God blessed me and blessed everyone in my family. So I'm just thankful to be able to be sitting here talking to you right now. And I'm going to sign off on this one. And I'm going to get into more detail. I like I said, I planned out like a 4-part series here, and we'll touch on it again later, real soon. I'm gonna try to do this like 3 or 4 days in a row. But I apologize again for not being with you more than I have been, and thank you guys for, especially people who enjoy listening to my country ass. I'm back. I promise I'll put out more stuff and try to be just as goofy as I always have been. But, you know, I'm not as crazy as everybody thought I was, you know, a year ago. Last year I had people think I'm crazy. You know, those people are now asking me to have a meeting and do some training and some discussion about what really happened. So, look, Tell the ones that you love them, and let's get full ass ready. I'll be back. See ya.